Why does avoiding risk also have a cost? Let's say that you are young and you are starting your life, starting to work, starting everything. Should you take risk? Maybe. We need to separate two things here. First one is this. It's impossible to eliminate risk. Okay? It's just impossible. Everything that we do, there is risk involved. The thing is, we need to understand what risk is necessary, what is managing the unavoidable risk, and if you want to risk to lose everything or not. For example, I'm risking in filming this video right now, trying to start a channel here. But the thing is, what I am risking here, what I'm going to lose, just my time. But time is the most important resource that we have. But I'm not risking losing my wealth and not the wealth that I built until now. Another thing that we need to consider is this: taking debt or not. This is because there are two different things, two different aspects of taking risks. For example, if you are taking risk because you are risking on investments, but you are doing something that is conservative, like an ETF or like a mutual fund, something like that, it's something that is doable. Now, taking debt, financing to enter in a new business, for example, it's something that you need to be much more careful. I don't know if you should do it or not. Depend on your situation. I never did it. Everything that I built was without debt. Because every time that you take debt, what happens is this: you are risking. You don't know what is going to happen in the future. For example, my case, I work with construction. All right. Every time that I am building, I'm doing it with my own money. If something happens during the process and I run out of money, the only thing that I'm going to do is to stop the construction. Simple as that. And I can restart in the future when I have money to do it. On the other hand, if I had take debt, for example, what would I do if something happens in the middle of the process, in the middle of the construction? So we need to think about that. We need to be balanced, to really to really think about what we are going to do. Now, another important aspect of this is this that I'm going to tell you right now. Many people think risk only exists when you take action, but that's not true. There is also risk in doing nothing. For example, I'm not going into debt, but I'm investing non-stop for more than 20 years. There is a risk in doing this. Yes, there is. For example, I could die in the middle of the process. I could and never spend this money. Or I could invest in a bad real estate property. I could invest in a bad investment, and something can go wrong. But if you avoid investing because you are afraid of the risk that you are taking, you are getting into a bigger risk because of that. Because what you are going to do in the future when you are not able to work anymore, if you keep all your money in cash because you are afraid of investing, inflation will slowly erode your purchasing power. If you avoid every opportunity because something could go wrong, you may spend years missing opportunities that could improve your life. Sometimes you need to balance, to really think about what you are doing. For example, the last construction that I built, the last house that I built, is a very good one. And because the economic situation here in Brazil right now is not good, interest rates are too high, I wasn't able to sell it until now. Everything's okay. I am being able to save money every month. All right. But one thing that I am thinking about is that I am missing the opportunity of building more. Think about how difficult is the situation. I am missing the opportunity of building more. But at the same time, um, I'm not. I don't want to accept any bad offer, because the offers that appear until now weren't good. For example, last week an offer appeared, a possible buyer, and he was willing to trade the house for one countryside property and one apartment. No money involved. But the situation is, the house is very desirable here in my city, but that his properties are not. So should I try to trade just because I am feeling that I can lose opportunities? Of course not. I need to be. I need to do. I need to be able to make a good business, a good arrangement in this negotiation. So I said no. But really, we really need to think about this, because, for example, in this situation that I'm describing for you here, my situation, I am I am worried because I'm may lose opportunities. Yes, but at the same time, I am saving every month. The property is there. The property is good. So what I'm doing is also good. It may be that it isn't as good as would be for me to build more. Because, for example, when I sell this house, my plan is to build 2 new houses. All right, this would be perfect. This would be very good. Actually, I have very good plan here for the future that I want to share with you guys. And the plan is this. For example, I built this house. It is paid, everything, okay. So what I'm planning to do next time when I sell the house, what I'm going to do is this. I will buy two lots, okay? And then I will build in one of them. It may be that the money that I get from the house is not going to be enough to build the two houses, but it's going to be enough for me to buy the two lots, build one house, and start the second one. And this is the beauty of the plan. And think about that. Not taking debt, not financing anything. So let me keep going with the plan. So I bought the two lots, built another house, and start the second one. And while I build the second one, I'm going to sell the first one. So I'm going to have one lot right now to be working in. And what is going to happen? During this process, I'm going to sell the first house that I built, and then I'm going to buy two lots again. And then what is going to happen? I'm going to have one house that I'm going to be building and two other lots. Because, I don't know how it is, for example, in the United States. I believe that must be something similar of what we have here in Brazil. But the situation here is this. The lot, a well-located lot, is the most important part of the construction. So why I'm not building right now? Just because I don't have a lot to build. Because if I have one, I could build little by little, just with one or two people there. So this is the plan. Then I'm going to have at this point one house that I'm going to be building and two more lots. When I finish this one, I'm going to buy again two more lots, and then I'm going to have three lots. In one, I'm going to build again, and I'm going to have two waiting for me to start new constructions. So if you do something similar to that, you are going to have an advantage. You are going to be able to have an advantage instead of taking risks. Now, by doing this, I am taking risks. Of course that I am. Maybe for example, this house that I am not able to sell right now, I am risking. Yes, I have a lot of money sit there. Okay? But there is risk involved. Yes, there is. But at the same time, this house probably is going to value over time. So we really need to think about this. If you do something, there is risk involved. But if you avoid to do, there is even more risk involved. And what we really need to think about is this, is to manage the risk that we have. Avoid debt and manage the risk. These are the two most important things. All right, my friends, this is all that I have for you today. Thank you all for tuning in, and see you in the next video.